As you walk through the valley of the shadow of hell, you will realize that there is something ahead. Something that lurks behind the dark veil. A veil that is beyond our own comprehension. Beyond the void.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to
Beyond the Void
Horror Podcast.
What's up, guys? It's Monday!
Monday!
We're back for another adventure in BTV land.
Woo!
Are you guys ready?
No.
Because we're about to go to Japan!
Woo!
Now, we picked a couple of movies today that we're going to be watching in our segment, well, in what we're calling this episode, and what we wanted to call it was, What the fuck, Japan? But we ended up calling it What the Hell Japan because of iTunes.
Yeah, fuck you, iTunes.
Yeah, fuckish. No, I appreciate everything they do for us, but it just sucks. The censorship sucks. Why can't I cuss?
Why can't I put my nipples on the internet? I don't
Jesus.
know. Well, I mean, you can. I can't.
Do you have some need to put your nipples up? Is that
Who
like
doesn't?
me? I don't.
Like, it's because you can. So
nobody
you
wants to
feel
see
like,
my hairy pepperonis. Like,
no, pepperoni nips. Well, it's because you can, so you're just like have no urge to. I'm like, I can't without getting kicked off everything. So
no,
it's like,
actually, on Twitch they won't let. They used to.
I can.
You
Stream.
can't show male nipples.
Oh, so then you can't female either.
There's guys that stream without their shirts though sometimes, and I don't think they're doing it legally.
Oh,
or within their.
I want to stream
terms
without
of
my
service.
shirt on. Can I do
Yeah,
that?
no,
What if I have a
absolutely
bra on?
not. Yeah, I don't know.
Or nipple tape.
There's some things that you just can't do on Twitch.
Or just have like a cat wrapped around my it's all meow
Your
scars.
breastises.
My breasticles. I have a cat just chilling.
That's pushing it
With
even
little
on
paws. It's like, why'd you glue a cat to your chest?
Speaking of
Reasons.
paws, don't do that, okay, people?
Yeah, don't glue cats to you. It's mean.
But yeah, so two of the movies that we're going to be watching in our What the Hell Japan. What the hell? Is we're going to be talking about two movies, one of which is kind of different in tone than the other.
Kind of.
One of them is kind of fun, Tarantino-esque adventure that's called Wild Zero. Some of you might be familiar with the band Guitar Wolf, which is a famous Japanese punk rock band that look and dress like greasers. They were very big in the 2000s especially. But Wild Zero, we're going to be talking about that. And another movie that you probably haven't heard of called Crazy Lips. It's also another Japanese name that I didn't write down because I wasn't going to attempt to butcher its name. And I know this movie by the name Crazy Lips anyway. So
that's what you guys get.
yeah. So how have you been, Brittany? How are things?
Things are good.
Yeah, you doing all right?
I'm doing great.
Did you do anything special this past week?
I went to Flagstaff for Mouse's birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Almost died
in the
'cause
snow.
That was like the first fucking snowstorm of the year. Figures when we're driving out there.
Yeah,
And
what
I'm
a
like,
great time.
Thanks, Mouse. We're going to die here, you son of a bitch.
And for all of those of you who think Arizona has no cold,
It snows here.
it snows here.
It's about 2 hours up north.
Just 2 hours, guys. But the elevation is way higher.
Way higher.
I think it's like 5,000 or more.
Yeah, it's over 5.
Yeah,
But, yeah, you don't feel any difference, really. It just snows.
right.
That's the difference.
Well, did you have fun? Did you do anything
Oh,
cool
we had
there?
a blast. Yeah, I love Flagstaff.
Did you leave that night or?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
what?
that was the scary part. Like going there wasn't so bad. Like until you get off the main roads and you go to like where like their downtown area or whatever is not as maintained there when it snows, so it's
Right.
really icy. So as soon as we turned off of like the main road, of course, like my car hits like ice and starts slipping, and
Neat.
then I get nervous and
Well, yeah, I would too.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm not parking anywhere on the street, so we need to find an underground parking garage, or we're not parking here anywhere. And we do, because there's one by where we were going. So
Excuse me, sir. Can I park in your garage?
yeah, please, thanks.
Yeah. Thanks.
So that was fine. Like we got down there and then we just walked up. We always go. I like to go to the bar at the Hotel Monte Vista. Mm-hmm. I love the bar there. It's awesome. They're really cool. They have like metal bands and really good bands, punk bands that come through there all the time. But they have the jukebox and you can all kinds of music and pool tables and whatever. It's
real
fucking
chill. Yeah.
And the bartenders are always cool.
That's cool.
And the chick that was working that day was really awesome. So
That's awesome. Yeah.
we got shit housed and then went and got food and
drove home drunk.
no.
Just kidding. In the
No.
snow? Why not?
We chilled for a while and then
Okay.
I drove us back home.
You hear that, kids? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Don't drive drunk.
That was scary though, because we tried to leave. We had like a really short window of no snow, and of course, like as soon as we get out of like out of the town and get like onto the main highway, when it starts getting dark is when it starts fucking snowing like hard.
Did it take about 45 minutes to get out of that?
Oh god, it took so long to get home.
Yeah, but it
didn't
wasn't
stop
snowing all
snowing.
the way there. Yeah.
It didn't stop snowing until we were like, it was so far. Like it snowed forever.
Yeah.
And like it was finally done by like right before Camp Verde.
Okay.
And
so
Camp
just
Verde
north
is
of
like not that far from here.
Really? When I lived in Cave Creek, my buddy would come an hour away from the snow and we would be like, he'd bring back a whole like literal fucking truck full of
Oh, yeah.
fucking snow, and then we would have snowball fights in the middle of the street.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that's cool, man. I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah, we did. It was a good time.
I didn't do all that much. I mean, I watched a couple of movies, like Amazon, by the way, guys. I posted about this in the Do You Love Horror group on Facebook, and I posted on the page and like a few other places. But there's like a ton of new movies that Amazon just put up on their video, and some of these you can't even get but in other region DVDs and Blu-rays and shit like that. And they actually have them up on Amazon right now. Like I watched Oily Maniac, which is another what the fuck movie. What the fuck? I don't know what country you're from.
What the fuck, America?
Yeah, I don't
or-
know which. It was from another country. I just don't know. I think it was like the Beijing Man. Also, it's called that, or something. The Amazing Beijing Man, or something.
Glorious.
But yeah, man, that movie was fucking weird. It was about this guy who has polio, so he uses those arm braces.
Yeah.
So he walks around. He works at a coconut oil factory, and apparently his bosses. His uncle works at this place, and so does he. And he sees like this scuffle in the office because they try to sell the coconut oil company 5 years ago, but they never went through with it. And they want to get the same price that they were promised. And they end up killing his uncle ends up killing somebody and then gets executed. And then he falls in love with his, I don't know, he calls him his uncle. It's not really his uncle. It's just like some guy he worked with that he called uncle because he was like, you know how that goes. But his daughter, he takes care of that girl and he falls in love with her, but she doesn't like him because, of course, he's got polio, so she's not into that.
What a bitch.
I know, right? But she's in love with this other guy who,
Broaden
like,
your horizons, whore.
long story short, guys, the guy buries himself in the center of his house. He digs a hole and then submerges himself, says a prayer, and oil comes up and like submerges him in this oil, and then he turns into this fucking laughable Godzilla-like fucking creature, and then it starts fucking killing everybody. There's tons of more rape in it, so you might not want to watch that, but this is pretty old. It's since 1975, so just be warned. And then, I don't know, it's just ridiculous. I watched that. I watched Veronica, the guy that did Record. That was pretty good. I was not as amazed. It was no Record. Like, Record to me is awesome. Like, it's fucking amazing. Some people call it Rec because it's REC, but it means record.
Because, yeah.
So I don't know why people say that, but it's Record, guys.
Because everybody wants to shorten everything. So.
I guess. Well, it's because it's how it's spelled.
REC, that's rec, right?
I watched it. I liked it. It had some really unique stuff in it. I think you guys might like it. It's up on Netflix, so you can watch it for whatever your subscription is. So it's like another sort of like possession sort of movie, and they do some different things in it that I thought was really unique. Some of the music was really different. Like they did like 3 different genres in it, Like at one point, I'm listening to Videodrome notes of like movie from the Videodrome movie, which is pretty cool. And then the next thing, I'm listening to like 60s style fucking like theatrical music, and then I'm listening to something completely different the next minute. I'm like all over the place.
Neat.
But I don't know. I did that, and I've also cleaned up my studio a little bit, quite a bit actually.
A little bit.
And I'm trying to replace the whole fucking thing, and it's been fucking a nightmare. My buddy came over to try to help me put like everything together. His truck broke down, so we couldn't get all the stuff.
Oh, that's why it's in your driveway.
And then Patrick was supposed to come over, but apparently he backed into a car. I don't know if the car blew up or what, but he wasn't able to make it after that.
Is he
He
alive?
never really told me what happened. I just heard from somebody else. Yeah, he's alive, I think.
Patrick, are you alive?
I think he's badly burned, but he was able to make it to work the next day, so that's good.
Oh, that's good. I hope you're alive, dude.
I'm just teasing you, Patrick, but fuck you! I was so mad. I was so sad that day. I was like, God damn it, all I want to do is get this goddamn thing done, and I don't have any time. But, so it'll be ready soon. Which, by the way, guys, this week, just so you know, we are going to be doing just one more episode. So
you said 2 weeks ago.
well, if I would have been able to get it done this week, I would have been able to fucking do it like regular. That's the thing. It sucks.
That's fine. I'm sure everybody's okay.
And guys, by the way, if you don't already know, we mentioned it last week, but we have brand new stickers from our friend at Jars from Mars. She makes handmade vinyl stickers, and she's taken on our logo to sell and basically split with us to help us out, to help keep the podcast running. There's sizes from 3 to 10 inches, so they're really big.
Giggity.
Like, and they're like literally between like, I think it's like $3.50 and like $6 or $7. Plus, I think shipping is like cheap as fuck. So, but if you guys haven't already and you haven't gotten any shirts and you want to help out, that's a way you can help out. You don't have to, but share it with somebody if you think they might. Other than that, I think it might be that time, Brittany. What is this?
I know what it is. And it's like turning green.
Oh, it's that time, Brittany.
Did you see it's all separated?
I see it.
It's like the whiskey's at the top.
It's percolating with
then-
disgust.
Oh, God.
HORRORSHOTS! All right, guys, so we're back. We're going to do our horror shots today, and obviously we're going to be doing one of the movies that we're going to be doing today. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm saying things twice, but it's okay. Brittany just laughs at me and thinks it's so fucking easy. Anyway, so we figured we'd do the one from Wild Zero. We'd pick Wild Zero as our target for our horror shot this week.
You should mix that.
And we're going to be mixing some pretty interesting thing. Oh, it's mixed. Don't worry.
No, you should like use
I'll
the
stir
frother.
it. Oh, I don't have that, so we'll just have to do it.
My yellow mouth.
But get this, guys. In the movie Wild Zero, they say rock and roll over and over again, and it's like a theme. It's like
it's a running theme.
Rock and roll will never die. Rock and roll is not just, it's a way of life, and like rock and roll like everywhere.
It's the whole movie.
It's the theme of the movie.
The running theme.
So we thought, since they do it and it's based around the band Guitar Wolf, it's kind of a double thing. So we're doing 3 ingredients. One of them being Evan Williams, because we figure, whiskey is the choice of rock and roll.
Whiskey is rock and roll.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way it is.
You can fight me if you don't agree.
We also added 3 Amigos tequila because there is 3 guys in the Guitar Wolf band. So you could just use regular tequila if you want, but if you want to be extra cool, try 3 Amigos. And God knows where you can get it. So good luck.
Where'd you even find that?
It's Patrick's, actually.
Patrick, where'd you get it?
And then to be borderline racist, we use some Japanese melon.
Hey,
I don't know if I should say
we
that.
didn't use sake, so there's that.
So yeah, we didn't use sake, guys, but we figured we would use the Japanese melon, which is a melon liqueur. It's like a green hue, and drink this for you. So if you
it looks like what's that shit called that you put in your antifreeze?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Oh, we're gonna die.
Before you take the shot, guys, don't forget, you gotta say
Rock and roll!
Oh,
I think I spilled half of it on my boobs.
ooh, that's not pleasant. But maybe some forms of rock and roll aren't either, so that's why it tastes that way. So, that was a really bit of not all right. I don't even have anything to chase it down.
Why is it minty?
It's because it's a melon liqueur.
Blah. No.
Oh, boy, that was...
Disapprove.
Milk was a bad choice.
Milk was a bad choice.
But if you would like to test your limits of upchuckedness, you can go to longlivethevoid.com and check out our hashtag horror shots and try a rock and roll right now.
Rock and roll!
But that's it for horror shots. All right, guys, so now we're going to jump into our flesh and potatoes of what the fuck, Japan? Or what the hell, Japan? Whatever. We'll secretly call it what the fuck, Japan. You guys know the truth, all right? You know the uncensored truth, okay? But we're going to go ahead and jump into our flesh and potatoes right now! All right, guys, we're back to do our flesh and potatoes of what the fuck, Japan. And we mean that endearingly half the way.
Sort of.
Sort of. Kind of.
Partially.
Yeah, you'll see.
Maybe.
So we figured we'd kick it off with the best movie of the two.
Sorry.
Which is none other than Crazy Lips from 2000. The story of this wonderful movie that is a heartwarming tale of a Christian child who... No, I'm kidding.
I was like, yes. Yes.
The story is... It tells of a boy who disappears after becoming the prime suspect in the killing of a junior high school girl and a desperate attempt to find the boy and the real killer. The boy's mother and his two sisters enlist the help of a female psychic, but the psychic has some unsettling methods to crack the case, like summoning the headless ghost of a murder victim. 4, in fact.
4 of them.
And then brutally fucking them all. Like, Jesus.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so the director of this movie is Hiroshisa Sasaki. He has directed the sequel to this movie called Gore from Outer Space. He also did a short in the Tales of Terror from Tokyo and all over Japan, as well as a few others you may not have heard of. It's also by writer Hiroshi Takahashi, who did the Ringu series, a.k.a. The Ring. Part 1, 2, and 0 he wrote. He also did some porn and Crow 02.
He also did some porn and...
Yeah. He is pretty popular for that. Yeah, he really did.
Did he, though?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Some of the cast members include Hitomi Miwa, who plays Satomi. She was in Ju-On the Curse, Gore from Outer Space, which is the sequel of this movie. The Last Supper, Kamen Rider Kabuto, N-Call, Evil Hospital, and Ultraman Geed. Also, it stars Kazuma Suzuki, which is Mikio, her brother. He was in Library Wars and also Ryui Kitamura, Heat After Dark movie. It's a pretty independent film. It was one of the early ones he did. Ryui Kitamura is the guy that did the Clive Barker movie of Midnight Meat Train, which was a Clive Barker story, but Ryui Kitamura finally came out and made the movie. That was his first American release, and Lionsgate fucked him over.
Yeah.
But other than that, he also was in Sky High TV show and Detroit Metal City. It also stars Ren Asugi, who plays the Colonel. He was in Fireworks, Audition, Don't Look Up, Full Metal Yakuza, and Ley Lines. He's been in about 380-some films or roles. Yeah, ridiculous. Like, I've never seen anybody that many movies, dude. It's also starring Hiroshi Abe, who is Narimoto. He's one of the FBI people that make no sense why they're in this movie. He was in Godzilla 2000, Saga of the Phoenix, which I really want to see that movie, Moon Over Towel, which is a forgotten one that I almost forgot, and I remember not disliking it. He was also in the sequel for Gore from Outer Space. So, I could continue on and tell you a lot of the different actors in this movie, but a lot of them didn't have pictures, so I didn't really feel right telling you who they were. If I didn't know exactly which characters they played, some of these didn't even have their names of the role. Like, I was so confused. So, that tends to happen with some pretty independent films, because not everybody wants to keep up their IMDb. But, Brittany, what did you think of this wonderful adventure into sex, sadism, comedy, and fun?
This is one of the greatest movies I've ever watched in my entire life. I highly recommend that no one ever fucking watch it because I hated it. I absolutely fucking hated it.
Well-
Like, I will give you this. There are a couple moments where I did laugh my fucking ass off.
Right. Okay.
Because there are some and if they weren't for that, I would have fucking kicked you in the balls the second we got here for making me watch this shit.
well, I don't. I haven't seen this in 10 years. So.
Right. And and I know I can almost like felt like when we rewatched this that you were thinking about me.
Oh yeah.
And about Brittany's gonna fucking kill me.
It's like she's gonna lay into me.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Fuck my life.
Yeah, great. Can't wait for this.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that there were a couple redeeming quality
Hey,
moments.
we are
but
reporters on the movies that we watch. Some good, some bad. They're not going to all be perfect, so we got to watch some of the most depraved shit, and we're going to watch some of the more mainstream shit,
yeah,
too.
but this wasn't like depraved in a good... I mean, depraved isn't necessarily good ever, but
Right.
this wasn't depraved in an acceptable way. It was just depraved to be shocking.
Yeah.
Like strictly
Understandable.
for some type of shock value that had no purpose. And you
Okay.
know how I feel about that kind of shit.
Sure.
So I'm just
We've talked oodles about it.
we have. Because we've somehow managed to do a lot of movies with a lot of this type of subject matter.
It's starting to
and I'm
now
just
make
"God
sense.
damn."
I'm like I never really realized it before because I always looked at it as from the perspective of it's just a movie.
Right.
So I never really put myself in the shoes of somebody being like completely, utterly disgusted by it. Even though it doesn't make me feel comfortable, I always just kind of chalk it up to that. But
Yeah, and when it's funny, like when you watch something like I'm sitting there with my husband and I'm uncomfortable
yeah.
watching this shit, and I know he's uncomfortable because I know he's probably more uncomfortable than me sitting there watching it, and I can see him and out of the corner of my eye, and he's just like, ugh.
Well, I'm
Fuck.
glad that you don't blame me for these movies
No.
being made.
I know I don't. I know you had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I know.
You just picked them.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. And I was actually kind of excited because just reading the description for this movie, I was like, this sounds really interesting. Like, they're searching for their brother, trying to find their brother who supposedly, decapitated 4 Japanese schoolgirls.
Right.
I'm like, I'm into it. There's going to be some ghosts and it's going to get weird and I'm super stoked, right?
Right.
Not the kind of weird that I thought it was going to be. It just was fucking weird.
Definitely
and
in
not
the
good weird.
What the fuck, Japan?
This is why we're calling this episode What the Fuck Japan. I can guarantee it because the second movie makes sense, at least. It's also
Yeah.
fucking batshit, but like in a good way that works batshit. This movie just no.
right.
A whole bunch of fucking nope. And I don't know what was going on, like why there was characters, why people just let people enter their house unannounced and just walk in and
Right.
it's not a big fucking deal.
I
like,
can tell you why in a
is
little
that a
bit.
thing in Japan? Like,
No, I'll actually explain.
Is there really?
There's a lot of reasons for the things that happened in this movie that I was a
Okay.
little caught off guard by that they actually thought about. But when you're fine tuning and you're like going through the pages and then you're shooting the film, you're thinking about every second that
Right.
goes by. So I mean, it makes sense, but it's not my particular choice.
I'm looking
necessarily.
forward to that explanation.
Okay. Well, so what do you think? Why did it offend you without spoiling the necessary tidbits that, can you just like elaborate on what it was that they did a lot of and that's that I kind of think that you would not like?
The entire movie is just a giant rape scene.
Right. Okay.
All of it. Like a good 90%, I would say, of this film. Is
I would
just
say it's
unnecessary fucking gratuitous rape scenes and gratuitous rape violence.
Okay.
And I don't understand why.
Okay.
So I felt like they had a cool idea for the story, and then they just were like, they got lost 10 minutes into making it, and they're just like, let's make a porn.
Okay.
Let's make a really raunchy, dirty, gross fucking porn, and then that's fine. It's
Well,
gonna look like a
I
snuff
don't want to
film.
I don't want to ruin any of why they did it. So it's interesting to hear your opinion now. And I'm not saying that it's going to change your mind necessarily, but it'd be interesting to hear
And
what you say
I have no problem
when
with,
I explain it.
with sex in horror movies
Mm-hmm.
at all. Obviously, I want to do a fucking horror porn parody episode.
I think
like,
that's pretty fucked up.
It's shit's amazing. Like, it's so funny. But anyway, there's a big fucking difference
Right.
between that kind of shit and this. This is like snuff, smut, dirty, I don't know. It's not
Right.
artistic to me and it's not creative. It's just gross.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Like, I know people are going to disagree with me and I'm sure it's going to be dudes.
No,
they don't
I don't
disagree
think
with
so.
my opinion on it, but
I know some girls that were talking about this movie. I was doing a little bit of research, and
I'm sure
they liked it.
yeah,
but,
I'm sure there are, which is fine. If you like it, you like it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you like this, I'm not going to hate you for it.
Right.
It's
A
your
lot of the
opinion.
reviews I saw like elsewhere, it was pretty interesting because I just like after I watch a movie, I love going to check out the reviews.
I do too.
It's just funny because sometimes I laugh and sometimes I'm like, "What? Shut the fuck up."
Oh, I love when people suck a movie's dick. That's just like mediocre.
5 out of 5, and it's like, what?
Why?
What? How many movies have you seen?
Right? Is this the only movie you've seen?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
There was moving pictures on the screen. I could not believe my eyes.
This is like a caveman. This is their
I remember
first, like-
reading comics my whole childhood, and then I realized that once I looked into the magic window of Crazy Lips. Just kidding.
I know, like I was literally trying to like understand the reasoning behind why anyone would give this movie like
More
a
than
great review.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just like, hang on, like I need to get into your mindset and like understand why you feel this way. And I just reading them, I'm all, what the hell?
I'm kind of glad I did this one so I could hear your opinion first. You know, because it's so. No, it's not that different. I just wanted to pretend
I was
like
gonna
it.
say, I was like, I don't think so. I feel like you're gonna feel the same way as me.
No, I mean, first of all,
Not as angry about it as I was.
to give you guys kind of a background on why I picked this, I literally physically own this on DVD. Part of the reason I picked this up, it was on a whim. It was many years ago. I used to shop for some weird oddities in Suncoast Motion Picture Company. They would have like DVDs. They'd be like $25, $30 sometimes, like for a DVD, but they would have it and no one else would. You know what I mean? Like, you could order it online, but this is before people really bought a lot of DVDs online. Like, there was, like, DVD Shark or something like that. Like, people got stuff on, but it was very, very small. But I remember it. I saw it maybe, like, 10 years ago. This is the last time I watched this shit. I remember it being pretty depraved and super odd. Pretty much that's about it. I remember there was a dead guy sex scene in it, but I wasn't really familiar with all the elements that were involved as in their relation to each other. I forgot about that. But it's pretty fucked up, and it has a lot of subversive and depraved scenes in it. I think it would be more along the lines of sadism. The ugly truth of humans, essentially. I felt kind of a little sigh of relief when I later found out about some of the wrongs the characters had done that kind of justified in some minute way all these acts that were happening to them. Because at first glance, you're just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
But then the people get into it and shit, and then they crave it. Like, it's sexual deviancy, but then they're like all about it. We can get into that a little bit more later, but on the surface, I feel like it was just a mishmash of ideas thrown around kind of haphazardly into a movie, and it has a genre identity issue with itself a little bit because, and I'll explain more about this, but it just definitely came across as like it didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Like, one moment it was a comedy, one moment it was a supernatural movie, the next minute it was a fucking crime thriller, and then the next minute it was like some fucking weird, like, I don't know, like sex movie, and then it was just like, it just like bounced around so many different times I didn't know what to do. So I wasn't completely enthralled by the movie, but I mean, if you've been collecting movies for as long as I have, you start to collect and find some weird shit to kind of watch outside of your normal comfort zone because you kind of want to see the outer fringes of like, how crazy does this really get? You know what I mean? So in some of those movies in my collection, it's not like I go, oh, let's go watch Crazy Lips. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's like, it's kind of, this movie kind of has that out of the comfort zone in spades sort of feel, you know? It's almost a test to the watcher's strength sometimes, but also kind of brings you back into a humorous tone. So you're just like, you're kind of like conflicted as to what the fuck you're feeling. Definitely not a film for just anyone though, or even a semi-casual horror fan. It's just fucked up and it doesn't really answer too many questions by the end of it. So other than pretty much just bad people do bad shit to other bad people with a lot of fucked up sex and death. And so I'd say if you're not a outer fringes kind of horror fan that are looking for some weird shit to just like freak your mind, then I would say don't, watch this at your own risk, you know what I mean? Because it might offend you. It's a different time though, that's the thing, right? Like, this is from 2000. We think that it's not that long ago, but a lot has changed. And in Japan, 20 years ago almost now, there was like, women have been trying to do, like, they used to have, like, what do they call them? Candy girl action films where women would, like, take over men and stuff like that, because there's a power struggle between men and women in Japan a little bit. And it's different than the United States or like Britain or something. But yeah, it's a little bit of a different time. I think they were trying to dip into sadism a little bit more than they are, although it is really hard to kind of like defend. In some cases, you're just like, Jesus, I really don't want to watch that right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if I wanted to defend it, if there was anybody that could defend it, it would just be, hey, we wanted to do really subversive, fucked up, sadist things because we're a low-budget film. Mm-hmm. And that's essentially the whole thing.
Pushing our creative limits.
Right.
Because we can.
In order to stand out because we don't have a lot of money, we got to push the limits. And that's essentially where horror thrives a little bit. So, but yeah, I mean, so do you want to hear why a lot of these things kind of happen, Brittany? Or do you have any other thoughts that you want to add to this?
No.
Okay. Well, I did watch a lot of the like making of and the behind the scenes stuff. The behind the scenes stuff on the DVD was just like them showing them acting. It's not like how it was made, but it's called the making of.
Okay.
Anyway, but the idea came from the writer who was offered to do like I said, a low budget film. So he felt that he would push the boundaries very far without any budget. You know, he wanted to go back to his roots, which was like independent styled movies to try to shock people to get their attention. They wanted, you know, the people that wanted to make the movie wanted The Ring because that guy's notorious for it because he wrote that and it's a huge hit. So he felt like he would try to do something like that, but he would go more of an independent film and try to do whatever the fuck he wanted with this film to go as dark as he could. But with the budget, you know, like I said, they didn't really have like all access to like gore and all this other shit. So he said that the Ring was a little bit more about spiritualism, and this was more about human ugly.
Okay.
So, and not necessarily about what's right or wrong, but more about the darkest side of people. So,
Makes sense.
like even if you realize in the beginning when all the like camera people, all the people that work for the news place, they're just like really nosy, breaking into people's houses, and like it's like everybody's out for themselves. Mm-hmm. So he actually went on to talk about this film, and he said that the cruelty in the film, because the guy kept like pinning him to the wall about the cruelty, you know, the cruelty in this movie, and he was a little bit more open about it than I'd say the director was. But he said that they often referred to a popularized expression called grand guignol, which I'm not sure I'm saying 100% right, but it's Guignol if you guys want to look it up. But grand, as in grandiose, grand guignol. He says that cruelty is a huge thing in France since the 19th century, and a lot of their plays contain really cruel things, and a lot of movies that they've made are extremely graphic and cruel as well. He said that he was influenced by movies like Eyes Without a Face or Le Trio Infernal, which he says embraces the ugliness of human nature perfectly, and that he was like extremely fascinated by this. So he said it influenced him, and he further went on to say that those films extremely describe the ugly desires and crimes of humanity, so he wanted to use that in this film because he thought it would sell it. Which, I don't know how well it's sold, but I can understand why they would want to do things outside of the box. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about that so far?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense how they're trying to kind of justify what they were doing.
I'm not saying that it's right what they're putting on the screen necessarily, but again, I'm kind of in the middle where it's like, it is just a movie. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't have to watch it again if I don't want to. I don't think it's out. The movie's not even that big to even make an impact on anything anyway. But yeah, it's not something I'm like, oh yeah, let's watch some crazy lips. Although I was excited before I saw it, and then I was like, ooh.
Oh, fuck.
And then I remember I was telling a couple of us, like, if you like Wild Zero, you'll like it. I'm like, oh fuck, I need to go back and tell him.
Yeah, well, just kidding.
Yeah, no, my bad.
Sorry
about that, dude. He watches it and is like, you're a fucking disgusting piece of shit.
Fuck you, Alex.
Yeah, I know. But forgive me, man. It's been 10 years. The writer also said that most of the content is absolutely disgusting, and it had a hard time finding a production studio that would help fund it, of course. But he said he's also a very dark and spiteful person about humans in general, and he thinks they're all fucked. So part of his reasoning was like to show people as the way he sees them. He said it's unlike the director, who is somewhat cheerful and happy and puts on a happy tone, and even in his erotic films. So, which he said it was an odd mix for them to work together because they didn't really extremely butt heads creatively, but they both had to give and take what they wanted. Mm-hmm. Like you were saying, the whole thing, like who the fuck walks into somebody's house like that?
Like all day.
Right, there's a specific scene where the police officer just walks the fuck in all the time, right?
Every time he just lets himself in the house.
Right.
And then like the camera people and shit too, the news reporters. I'm like, what in the fuck?
Well, they had an argument over the shoes because in Japan it is considered
take your shoes off. Yeah, it's weird.
Even if you walk into somebody's house with your shoes on, you consider those people to be beneath you, like dogs, like animals who don't deserve respect. It's that serious. Although, the youth is a little bit different nowadays, but it is kind of a common thing. But he said that him and the director had issues with that because he's more of a Western director and that he tries to be more Westernized and didn't think that they should have like the writer wanted him to specifically walk in with his shoes on to show the disrespect. But the director felt that would get lost on Western audiences and that it didn't matter. But he thought it mattered. Mm-hmm. So stuff like that, little stuff like that. He also said that he felt like the three family, the girls, the mom, the sister, and the sister, that they should have had a better description of their family and how fucked up they were already.
Yeah.
Because he said that it didn't really make a lot of sense.
It didn't.
So that could have made it a lot worse. You know what I mean?
Why is all this weird shit happening? Like, what? Why?
He said that the one
happening?
sister that wants to fuck everybody was supposed to be even more ridiculous than that.
Yeah, because she was really chill
in the beginning.
And then just kind of sad that her boyfriend broke up with her and stuff, and
wouldn't have sex with her.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden she turned into the fucking Uber bitch,
right?
Slutty Uber bitch, and I'm like, God, what the fuck happened to you?
But the director wanted a kind of an erotic movie, so he was already being hired to do sex movie anyway. So when they hooked him up with him, they had to go somewhere in the middle, I guess. So the writer wanted horror, and he wanted sex. So what meets in the middle? Unfortunately. In that sadism of any sort. So he just kind of wanted something original that hadn't been done before, and they tried to push the boundaries with a lot of that stuff. Again, I'm not justifying the scenes, but the people that did have sex in the movie became kind of they wanted sex all the time.
Yeah, they were crazed.
Yeah, there was something wrong with them. Mm-hmm. They also focused on the murder movies with a paranormal presence as well. So they kind of watched a lot of Mario Bava films. They watched a bunch of different ghost movies, Ghost Story. There's a Japanese film called Ghost Story that they kind of focused on too in that. He also said that the cruel scenes apparently also wanted something sexual too. So they had to go somewhere in between, and he kind of wanted to do all these different genres. So he wanted to do action and sex. So they would have action sex scenes. And so that's why it's super uber physical, he said. I don't know. He was very unapologetic for about anything. Because you could tell that the interviewer was like, okay, so a lot of people think this is fucked up. What do you think? And he's just like, oh, I think I did a great job. It came out exactly how I wanted it. It's just and then the guy's like, yeah, but there was some really heavy stuff in it. Did you feel like you should have cut back on one thing or maybe done more of something else? He was like, yeah, no, it's actually a pretty perfect film. I wish I could have added this extra part in though. It would have been better if I could have
added this extra anal rape scene.
Right. I'm thinking to myself, damn, man. But I mean,
so much more.
It is his art. So, I mean,
I get it.
He knew what he was going into.
Standing by his shit. So good on him.
But again, remember, different times. It's 20 years ago. I'm not saying that rape was cool back then or anything like that, or even highly suggestive rape scenes, even if it wasn't intended to be rape, is still very tough for people these days versus back then. Mm-hmm. So he also said that there were no restrictions on whatever he wanted to do. So the people that wanted to pay for the movie said, do whatever the fuck you like.
Yeah.
So he was like, let's push the fucking boundaries. Which I don't think that this movie got the notoriety that they had expected from doing very crazy things in the first place. But once you see it, you'll probably never forget it, guys. So
This is true.
So what are some of your favorite scenes, Brittany?
When it ended.
The credits.
The credits.
Yeah.
I loved the credits. Best part.
Well, just anything. It could be your worst scenes, or we could talk about the big one.
I love any scene with the FBI agents.
Oh yeah, they're ridiculous. What
They're
the fuck
so
is that?
stupid.
Why
I
are
love them.
FBI agents in fucking Japan in the first
I don't
place?
even care. I don't care. They
Makes
had no purpose.
sense.
No fucking purpose at all, but they were great. And then the girl speaks English.
Yeah, she does. She sings
speaks
the
English.
national anthem at one point.
That was amazing, by the way. Like, I loved it. I thought
Yeah,
that
I was like,
adorable.
there's some deeper symbolism into this
It
right
was
now.
nuts. Like, she's walking through the fucking woods trying to kill the psychic and her partner or whatever, and she's got this crazy semi-automatic fucking like
She's got an assault rifle of some
assault
sort.
rifle. Yeah, she's got this crazy fucking rifle, and she's just like waltzing through with her shitty blonde wig, singing the national anthem, and she's the only one that speaks English in the entire movie, but she speaks it with like a weird Japanese accent, but she speaks English clearly.
Yeah.
They still subtitle her.
Yeah,
which
she
I thought
talks in
was
English the
interesting.
whole time, I think.
Every scene with her, she's speaking English. They
Yeah.
subtitle her though, which I thought was really funny. And I'm like,
Okay.
why? You can understand her. She's the only one. She was hilarious.
Yeah,
Every
that-
scene with her in it, I was like, I love this.
Yeah,
bitch.
they were the breath of fresh air
I needed
a couple
them.
of times, but even that got weird at
It
one
was
point.
yeah. None of it made sense. It was all fucking stupid, but they were funny. So any scene with them in it, I was cracking up, especially her.
Yeah, it took me a while
She
to
was-
really kind of find one that I liked, but there was one scene where they're in the forest with her and the girl, Satomi. She looks at this guy and you think that she's like doing some Carrie shit on him and twists his head around in the park, but it's really the spirits of the dead girls
Yeah,
causing him to twist his head around.
that was cool.
That was cool. Like, I thought that was kind of an
I almost
interesting
forgot
kill.
about that. I liked any of the scenes where they gave her this cool power.
Well, she
Like,
didn't really have any
She
powers.
harnessed this, or she manipulated the spirits
ghosts, yeah.
to do it or whatever. And
Right.
I thought that was really cool, but she is the one that has the power to do that, and they barely touch on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they do this one crazy fucking scene, and then the whole time you're like, she can do this. Why is she not doing it?
By the way, I forgot to mention I had Josh over
Did
to
he
watch
watch
these
it?
with me. Yeah, he watched both of these with me.
What did Josh say?
And I was like, so you enjoying the movie? Pretty cool, huh? Like, he was just like, like right in the middle of that what the fuck moment. Okay, guys, we're going to, like, this is spoiler territory
Oh, the dead
big
guy
time.
one? Is that
Yes.
yeah.
We're going to talk about the dead fuck scene.
Which I have no problem with that kind of shit.
Oh, it's okay to rape a dead body, but not a
No,
live
no, no,
one.
no, no.
Oh, it's
No,
cool,
no.
Brittany.
No, that's not what I
I'm
mean.
totally kidding.
But like necrophilia stuff or whatever, like
It's totally cool.
It's not cool, but like that kind of shit doesn't really bother me as much. You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
there's drag queens that I fucking love, like the grungy, dirty drag, like Dragula drag queens. That like one in particular, that one of her bits that she does is she dresses like, oh god, it's just fucking beautiful. I'm sorry, it's really cool. But she dresses in like this old time Marie Antoinette kind of looking.
okay.
So she's got like the big crazy hair and the big poofy beautiful dress and shit. And she's using the oxygen tank, but it's not oxygen. It's like a not Novocaine. You know what I'm talking? Laughing gas.
Yeah, nitrous.
I think it's supposed to be nitrous
oxide.
or whatever that she's like inhaling, and she fucks a corpse, right? Like this corpse that's in this morgue. She's supposed to. I don't know if she works there, if this was maybe her husband or whatever the bit story behind it is, but it's this crazy fucking act that she does, and it's gross and it's weird, but it's cool. And there's a couple of books that I have that I've read that are about like they write about that, and it's interesting. So like that kind of shit doesn't really bother me because it's just like
It's just kind of funny.
sounds
like
stupid. I
no.
know,
It's not that
and
it sounds stupid to me. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Like, but just like if you're like, well, you know, rape is kind of bad, but necrophilia kind of cool.
necrophilia, I'm like, but
You know, because fucking a dead corpse is pretty fucking cool, man. Right?
no, I
It's
know
all
and
mushy,
sounds
it's kinda
totally,
fun.
like, sounds totally contradictory, but it's really not.
Well, let's
So-
tell them what exactly happens, okay? So
And I think that guy was dying. He's not
No,
dead.
he dies. He's
well,
completely...
not totally dead
Oh,
yet.
no, he dies in the middle.
In
In the middle. Yeah, well, it's a movie. I mean, did you ever
that
see...
when he starts
did
fucking
you
her in the
ever
butt?
see Weekend at Bernie's? They fuck a dead corpse in that.
Did they?
Yeah, fuck yeah, they did.
I don't remember that.
His girlfriend comes in and she's like, "Oh, Bernie!"
Oh, yeah.
On the
I
fucking...
fucking love that movie.
And they're all like, "Yeah, is everything okay? Things are good, right? Yeah, you had a good time, huh?"
The movie's fucking hilarious.
I watched it.
I haven't watched
have
that
it.
in so long. I love that fucking
I
movie.
watched it just recently.
It's so funny.
But yeah, like, okay, so get this. Satomi is one of the daughters of this mom. This other daughter and her lived together. Their father died, right?
He was executed.
Yeah, he was...
He's a killer, too.
Yeah, he was, like, executed or something. I don't remember exactly how it went.
He was hanged.
But it was just the three of them living together. Yes, that's right. He was hanged. So basically, they hire this psychic woman and her assistant, who's this male guy, who is like super rapey.
Gross.
And basically, the mom has already had sex with the assistant because he's forced
rapes
himself
her
on her
twice.
But, they're flirting together at first, and then he forces himself on her, and then she wants nothing but him all the time. And then the lady who's the psychic, they're like trying to play games with all the family members. They're like fucking with them, and there's a reason why they're doing this in some other really dark, fucked up way, and we'll tell you that at the very end. But they also have sex with her sister. He rapes her sister too, who is like a nympho. And at first she's like being held down by
The
mom, and then has sex with her, and then she's into it, and then they grab her other sister Satomi, and they're like having an argument or something with him, and that police officer comes in who's kind of a dick to them and won't help them figure out what's going on with whatever, her brother or whatever, who's missing. And so he comes in, starts yelling at him, and then joins in with the fucked up people, and then is just like, yeah, we're gonna have sex with you. And then the mom and her sister hold her arms down. He starts having sex with her, and then they put a noose around the guy's neck, hang him from the ceiling like her father did.
Like how her father died.
Yeah, how her father died, and then pulls his pants down. He's still got an erection. They put her on the body as he's dying, and her mom and her sister are forcing her on this dead guy as he's dying, and then eventually dies. And then the raper guy comes up behind her and starts fucking her in the ass.
Yeah.
And then she starts getting into it and grabbing onto the dead guy. And she's kind of like, they're like, don't be a prude. You know you want it. Her mom, of all people.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Oh my God, dude.
Okay, so I'm going to not necessarily take back what I said, but like I said, I did say I don't necessarily have a problem with like necrophilia type stories or like whatever. Right?
Sure, okay.
But like this kind of shit, I'm just like, come on.
Well, that was a bit much. I was like,
Come on.
And it's a long scene, guys.
It is long. It's uncomfortably
like
fucking
15,
long.
20 minutes of this. Like,
it's never ending. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
And my poor husband is sitting there like, fuck my life.
Then they chop up some other dead person. And like in the bathroom, she's like, just like the sister's just all into it.
It was the cop.
Oh, they cut up the cop.
Yeah, because they cut him up and then they dissolve him with this like acid.
Right, but the whole family's in on it now.
Yeah,
but
it's the
you're
young
just,
sister and the mom like totally cut him up and then dissolve him in the bathtub.
Yeah, and the girl that was like all against all this stuff happening is all of a sudden like all about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of confusing.
Weird.
But in the fairness of the story, while you go on this about an hour journey up into this point, guys,
yeah,
at least an hour, you are like, what in the fuck am I watching? And you then find out about 15 minutes at the end of the film that the brother was missing because the psychic already knew who the killers were who killed the four girls, and it happens to be Satomi, her sister, and her mother, who also killed her father?
No, the father was hanged by like the government or some shit.
Oh,
right?
that's
he
right.
was, like
okay.
a murderer too,
but
or he was just crazy.
But then you find out that the psychic and her assistant were playing them because they didn't know for some reason.
I don't know.
And then so they're torturing those people.
It's so lost.
It's so fucking weird.
It's so fucking lost.
But do you see what I'm saying though? Like in a way, I'm not saying that, oh, well, it's okay they got raped. You know, like, but like they're sadistic, fucked up people too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also like the Satomi chick or whatever.
Right.
The good one. Or she's supposed to be the good one, like the young one that's leading this whole search to try and find her brother. It's fucking her brother.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Which
god.
I called it from the beginning.
Yeah.
I'm all, she's fucking him. That's why she cares so much.
Even though he knows
this movie's gonna go that way,
Yeah.
and it fucking did.
He was fucking her, his own sister, before they were actually killing people.
Later, he says that they're not blood related
Yeah.
or whatever, but then like I'm gonna watch. She's gonna be pregnant. And then she's like, and I'm pregnant. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right.
Like, come on. Like, can we get any more soap opera documentary about this shit? Like, docudrama, whatever the fuck.
I
Soap
know that they were
opera-y,
just
like,
trying to make
come
these
the
twists
fuck
and
on.
turns and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
well,
like,
I saw that one coming a mile away. And I was just like, it's already so fucking weird. Like, they're going to make it where she fucks him and then she's pregnant or some shit. And then they're going to die. And that's exactly what happened.
Right,
I was
yeah.
like, go me. Thanks, Japan. What the fuck?
and then you got FBI agents in there for good measure because, like, what the fuck? Dude, the sequel to this deals with aliens and shit.
I kind of want to watch
Like,
it.
it's called Gore from Outer Space.
I
and
didn't realize there was a sequel. Is
I
it
know.
as rapey?
I don't remember. I know that it deals with, like, a prison and UFOs.
Is it actually gory?
I don't remember. I don't remember it being
Maybe.
anywhere near as crazy as the first one, though.
Oh, well.
But it had a bigger budget. And a lot of the same people are in it.
Maybe there's actually gore.
No. Probably. I don't know. Maybe.
Why give it that in the title? Stupid.
I can't, it's been so long, dude. I watched it
check
right
it
after
out.
I watched the first
I'm
one.
gonna see if I can find it, and I want to watch it.
Well, it's on DVD. You can get it for on Amazon.
Sweet.
So, and by the way, guys, finding this movie, you're pretty much gonna have to buy it on Amazon if you want it.
I didn't even. Oh, you have to buy it through Prime
You have to get a DVD
or
copy.
actual DVD. Okay.
DVD
I was like,
copy.
it was not on there.
Well, I let you see it. I let you use it. So,
Yeah.
or get tainted by it. But yeah.
Thanks, Alex.
I think that's pretty much all we really need to talk about. I mean, you kind of get the idea. If you haven't seen this movie, god damn, you're going to miss out on something.
Yeah.
Like
There is
Sanity.
the end of it's actually kind of decent, a little bit. It gets fucking batshit, like redonkulous. Well, like when they bring the families of the girls that got decapitated, that they killed or whatever. They bring the families in to the room, and then like
they give them
the heads of the daughter of the kids, the Japanese schoolgirls that were killed. They give them their heads, and then like they give them axes
to kill
and
each other,
bats, and like metal fucking big ass like posts to chase after the sisters and the mom and the brother to kill them. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like here you go.
That shit got really cool though, and
see, that's what I'm saying. Like they're all fucked up.
It was
like
interesting.
all of them are fucked up.
Yeah, and
like it's just bad people.
Everyone dies. Like,
That's why I'm like
everybody except the one FBI dude and the psychic chick.
Yeah,
They're the only ones that make it out, but no one knows what happens to them or why they lived. But and then it just ends with like the colonel dude on the TV, and I'm like, what is happening?
You will never see a movie like this.
Oh, then they blow it up. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
what the fuck?
What are you talking about? Blow it up?
Didn't they blow up the fucking city?
I don't. Oh, at the very end.
At the very end.
Yeah,
I'm just
right.
like, what the hell? They're like, the colonel dude's like, it failed. They failed or something like that. And they like fucking drop a bomb.
Right.
I'm
yeah,
sorry
she's
if I
dead.
ruined it for you guys, but I'm not. Trust me. There's still enough other crazy shit that goes on that I did not ruin. So
Yeah.
it's so fucking weird.
Yeah, it really is. If you guys like weird movies, though, I mean, I can't. You can't get too much weird. You can get weirder
You
than
can
this.
get weirder than this.
But it is one of the. What did I just watch?
It was, yeah, it's confusing.
It's the
really confusing.
What the fuck Japan that we
Yeah,
were talking about.
That's why we called this episode that. This is the movie. This
Yeah.
is the reason. Fuck.
But Brittany did research on the other movie, the Wild Zero movie, so she's going to kick it off with that. We'll talk about that next.
I did. All right, guys. So the next movie that we did is a much more interesting movie.
You think? I don't know. It doesn't get much more interesting than watching some dude get fucked with his sister and mom.
I
And
don't know.
pretty interesting.
Right,
I'm not saying it's fun. I just,
whatever. Butt stuff. This movie is called Wild Zero, which was released in Japan in 1999, to the United States, I believe, in 2001. This movie is awesome.
Yeah.
But to give you a general idea of what it is about, aliens are invading the planet and turning humans into zombies. After saving his heroes, Guitar Wolf, from their manager and having the honor of becoming their blood brother, wannabe rocker Ace finds himself caught up in the carnage.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't think he'd need Guitar Wolf's help quite so soon, though. Bum, bum, bum. Drama, fireworks. It was directed by Tetsuro Takuchi, who also did Guitar Wolf, Red Idol, and Florella, and Wild Zero. That's it.
Okay.
That's all he's done. And it was also written by Tetsuro Takuchi. Takuchi? Yeah, I'm saying that right.
Yeah.
And Satoshi Takagi, which this is the only thing that Satoshi wrote.
Okay.
So that was it for this guy. It starred the band Guitar Wolf. So it had Guitar Wolf, who played himself, Bass Wolf, who plays himself, and Drum Wolf, who plays himself.
So really, they took some time to think about that.
They really did. They mapped the shit out of that, and they were just ready. It also stars Masashi Endo, who plays Ace, who is also in Beast Wars 2, a movie called 19, and Love Twisted, and a couple of other things here and there. And also has Kwancharu.
Shitty Chai?
Shitty Chai. It looks like Shitty Chai.
It does look like Shitty Chai.
But I'm not going to say Shitty Chai. Kwancharu Shitachai, who plays Tobio. This is the only movie Tobio, character, actor, whatever, Shitty Chai was in. So this is it. Which Alex pointed out that this is actually a transgendered actor, which I didn't catch. So I thought that was a really cool little fact. Makoto Inamaya, who plays Captain, who has the best wardrobe in this entire movie.
Oh, God. The short shorts guy? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Shorts guy. He's also in Zero Woman Returns, Silk, Reigo, and this one. Reigo, the deep sea monster versus the battleship Yamato.
Damn straight.
Which I want to watch so bad. It looks so excellent. So, Alex.
Oh, yeah.
I really don't care about your opinion on this movie.
Hey, she's being honest.
What did you think?
Well, Brittany, since you asked, this movie to me is kind of like, it's like a stylish, what the fuck comic book Tarantino-esque film with zombies, UFOs, rock and roll greaser dudes who play punk rock, and lots of weird offbeat comedy thrown in. It pretty much what you expect from a Japanese flick, pretty much, especially of these days, of the 90s and 2000. Like, it's pretty out there stuff. I like it though. I mean, I think I've always been a fan of this movie for quite a long time. Although watching it again this time, it was a little bit of a harder watch than normal. I don't know if it's because I've watched it too many times. I'm not really sure.
It's
but
possible.
It's not that I didn't like it. I still like it. It's like unique as fuck. But I think it's a movie that everybody should see, and if you like weird Japanese gore and comedy movies with like a lot of really crazy out there fucking characters, this is a good one. Plus, it's also blatantly non-homophobic comedy with a transgender star for the storyline. So, not many movies out there like that, period.
Yeah.
I'd also say that this is spoiler stuff that I just told you, but it doesn't bother me whatsoever, so I could give two fucks. It also has one of the most brutal drinking games attached to it that I've ever played, and probably will never attempt to play ever again. True story.
I wanted to elaborate for our listeners in case they're not aware, and I want to give you the idea, play this fucking game when you watch this movie. If I would have known it existed before I watched it, I would have done it while watching it, and I'm really sad that I didn't. So now I'm going to go back this weekend and watch it while I drink.
Good luck.
It's going to be great, and I'm excited.
I wish you the best of luck.
So this is the official Wild Zero drinking game, okay? You're going to take a drink anytime someone combs their hair. You're going to take a drink anytime someone else drinks. You're going to take a drink anytime someone says, rock and roll!
Rock and roll!
You're going to take a drink anytime someone's head explodes.
Yeah.
And you're going to take a drink anytime there is fire anywhere on the screen.
Or explosions or anything, yeah. Dude, it's anytime somebody combs their hair, says rock and roll, like, what the
That
fuck?
happens a million times.
So I got to tell you guys a story real quick, because Brittany, I didn't tell Brittany because I was like, I'm saving it for the show.
I'm excited.
So this is back in the days of the heydays of excess for me. Actually, the very early starts of excess. Nah, I've been pretty excessive for a long time.
That was last week, Alex. Don't lie to these nice people.
But during the heat in the heyday of excess, I used to drink a whole lot, and I can still drink quite a bit, but not as much as I used to. But let's just say I was not threatened by this movie, even though the rules were ridiculous, and I knew that we were going to be shit-faced by the end of the movie. Well, so me and my friends bought a handle of vodka and a bunch of beers, even some whiskey, and sat down and we're like, fuck yeah, with some of my friends from back in Maryland who moved out here to go to school. They came up to my house and we all sat around, like I think it was like 4 or 5 of us, and we were like, fuck yeah, let's watch Wild Zero. It's got a fucking drinking game. We can do it. Woo!
Woo!
And then
they're all dead now.
Literally, guys, I don't know where I blacked out, but we all simultaneously blacked out. I'm not joking. Like I felt like we got like dildoed by a UFO or something.
Did you get fucked in the butt by a creepy Asian guy?
I don't know about that, but
While you were fucking a dead
whoever dildoed me, I don't know who they are, or if I got dildoed for that matter.
Sorry.
But I will say that seriously, I woke up at the end of the credits and
Your pants were off.
I literally looked around and everybody was in their spots, but passed out, drunk. Like, and I was just like, it was really surreal. Like, I felt like that I had been abducted. And we all had been abducted and woke up from this, like, weird alien rape fantasy.
Sweet.
Like, I don't know what happened, but it was fucking... That's crazy, right? Like, I could drink a lot, man, but we were just drinking so much.
Well, it's because you were mixing your fucking alcohols, for one. And then you're probably taking full-on shots every time instead of... You don't always do drinking games with shots.
I did kind of...
Yeah.
I remember I was doing
You get, like,
shots.
a good strong drink, and then... That's how you play your drinking game.
We didn't have enough beer, so we were like, what do we do? I was like, we'll just take a half a shot.
Make a mixed drink.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You crazy person.
You know what,
guys are
though?
lucky you didn't die.
I know some motherfucker that's going to be listening to this fucking episode, and I guarantee
I
you
did it.
It's going to be the Grave Plot podcast, and they're going to be like, oh, I did it, bro.
With fucking double shots, bro. I did it.
Those
it was
motherfuckers,
fine.
I
Good
swear
for
to God.
you.
Shit-talking bastards that I love.
Good for you. No, you didn't.
Anyway.
I challenge you to a duel.
I'd love to see any of you guys actually play the game.
Record it.
And you're not even... I don't even remember. They tell you the, like, rules in the DVD.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's out in the living room. I can't even tell.
Why would there be rules? Those are the rules. The ones
But I'm just saying, I can't remember if it was in the DVD that it would tell you, or it would tell...
Just be prepared. There are multiple times where many of the things that are the rules that you drink to happen simultaneously.
Yes, they do. So you're like,
Many
bam,
times.
bam, bam.
So you just get a good, strong, stiff drink and just chug it.
Dude, they shoot a zombie's head like 5 times one scene.
In one scene.
And then there's flames after it.
It's so great.
And at the very end, it's just like boom, 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 and you're like, fuck, I quit.
Rock and roll!
Yeah. They're like combing their hair, screaming rock and roll, flames go off, zombies' heads are blowing up, fucking UFOs are exploding, fucking people are just like screaming.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
You're gonna puke. I'm telling you.
You're all gonna die. We gave you alcohol poisoning. Sorry about it.
I want to know anybody else that has done it, so sound off. One of my buddies, Justin,
One of your buttons?
one of my buttons came off of my pants when I watched it. No, one of my buddies, Justin, who is also another horror aficionado that I knew from the Art Institute of Phoenix in Northern Phoenix, actually goes to see this show of Guitar Wolf all the time. He's seen him 3 times.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and I think he saw him here twice and like once
They
somewhere
played
else.
here?
Yes, twice at least. I've seen Melt Banana here, and I bet
wow.
you he knows who they are.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, I've seen Melt Banana twice actually,
people
and I
post
saw
about
this
that.
other fucking band. I can't even remember.
It's fantastic.
I can't even remember what they're called. I've seen a lot of Japanese bands,
And here
to
I am
be
just
honest.
like, I just want to see Dirt and Gray. Where's Dirt and Gray? Why don't they ever play here? Like the few times they have, I've like missed it because I was like 12, so I couldn't go. But whatever. I kind of want to see. I'm like gonna keep my eye out because I want to see this shit.
Next time I go, if they come through again, I'm gonna go see them again because I heard Justin said that the show was amazing. and he's never seen something like it. So I was like, okay, yeah, I was like, I'll go with you. He never responded back. I was like, maybe I'll take that as a hint.
He doesn't want you to go.
He's like, fuck this guy.
You know what's funny is like I didn't realize that it was an actual band. Like going into watching
when you watched
the movie.
it, yeah.
I had no fucking clue. Like I'm just like whatever. Like no idea.
I feel like they acted pretty natural, like they do on stage.
Yeah, it's great. So Mouse just like pauses the movie and looks at me, and he's just like, "Is this an actual band?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know. Maybe."
It's
Why?
because he's a guitar player.
He goes,
because
they're actually playing their instruments correctly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, huh? And he's like, they're actually playing their instruments correctly. So I figured they're probably an actual band. And so I look it up, and well, yeah, they are. They're a fucking band. And he's like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're actually playing bass and guitar and drums. Like, whereas, everybody just fakes it. So for those of you who aren't familiar, though, with this band, we'll give you a little bit of a breakdown.
Okay.
Just a little bit. They are a Japanese garage rock power trio, which was founded in Nagasaki, of all places, in 1987. And they've been going strong since 1987.
It's pretty good.
The band is known for songs with piercing vocals and an extremely loud style of noise-influenced punk, which emphasizes heavy distortion and feedback, which annoys the motherfucking shit out of me.
Yeah, the menu
I can't.
song was like really distorted.
I fucking can't do it. And the whole time, anytime they did that in the film, I'm just like, fuck you. Fuck you. Like, if they do that shit at their shows, like, I'll probably jump on stage.
That's punk rock, man.
Kill them. I don't care. It's annoying. Hurts your ears. Fuck you. They did coin the phrase jet rock and roll, which they also used to actually describe their typical whatever music style.
Okay.
So it's basically like an energetic cross between the Ramones, Link Ray, Rockabilly, 77 punk, and garage rock. So it's pretty much just like a merging of different genres to create what they've done, which to me is just Japanese punk rock, like rockabilly. It's kind of on its own. It's not really
they dress like
they're rockabilly.
Rockabilly,
they dress like rockabilly,
but they don't sound like rockabilly.
No,
really.
it's punk. Like they're punk, but they dress rockabilly, which
and they call it rock and roll.
Kind of weird, and they call it rock and roll, and I don't get it. But whatever. They're Japanese. They can do what they want. I don't give a fuck.
What the fuck, Japan?
What the fuck, Japan? They are part of Sony Music Japan's Key-owned Records division.
Oh, okay.
They have 9 studio albums.
That's insane.
That were released internationally, and they have a live album, numerous singles, and a retrospective compilation called Golden Black. They've been in 2 B-grade science fiction horror movies, obviously Wild Zero, and they are in another film called Sore Losers, but they're just credited as like random strangers or some shit. Like they're
like,
themselves.
I'll be in a movie again.
They're themselves, but they're just like random crowd goers or some shit. Like,
well, you're never gonna get 2 movies being the lead fucking badasses.
Band, yeah, like the
come on.
lead badasses in band. Like, I mean, you're pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, it was pushing it to do it once, to be honest.
So they have a collection of their most popular videos and live performances they put into the DVD, which is titled Red Idol, which I talked about. The director of this movie is who directed Red Idol.
Ah, for them being in it.
For them, yeah. So, which I thought was pretty cool. Sad note, in March of 2005, the bassist and founding member Billy, who was Bass Wolf in the movie, actually passed away from a heart attack at the age of 38.
Oh, damn.
So probably coke induced is going to be my guess.
Who knows? And
lots of drugs and rock and roll. Sorry, I don't mean to like. I don't mean to like make light of it, but shit. I'm just being honest.
No, but I mean, hey, that's the rock and roll life,
rock
right?
and roll life.
Yeah.
You die young. You party hard. You die young. That's
whiskey
the rules.
and drugs, bro.
Whiskey, dick, and fucking
whoa,
vagina.
Wait, why
and
is it
drugs.
gonna be dick?
Dick. I'm just saying. They did get a replacement, which his name is bassist Yuji. He's not a wolf anymore. He's just Yuji. That's what he gets. I guess.
Oh,
but that's fine.
Well, yeah,
like,
you don't want to call him
Bass Wolf. Like, he's not Bass Wolf. Bass Wolf died, so they're gonna leave it alone. He's bassist Yuji.
The curse of generalizing names,
right?
I guess.
So he became the permanent member of Guitar Wolf, and now he rounds out the trio, which is still Seiji, Guitar Wolf, Yuji, who's the new Bass Wolf, and Toru, who's Drum Wolf.
Okay.
Which I thought was interesting.
Well, thank you for filling us in on all this, Brittany.
Yeah, you're fucking
If you guys
welcome.
would like to check out the Sony Entertainment to find out any of their releases, you can find them on.
It's Sony Music Japan's Key-owned Records division. You're welcome.
Yeah, but you can probably find them on
Don't
Spotify,
know what it was
guys.
in America. I don't remember.
Sony is one of the largest digital distribution companies in the world. I'm pretty sure you can find it on streaming somewhere. But if you like it, buy it.
Their fucking music videos are all over YouTube because I watched a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm just interested. I want to see this. So I checked it out. It was fun.
So what other stuff do you have for this trivia?
My trivia says Tobio is Thai, by the way.
Oh, well, maybe it is. I'm getting confused a little bit because I watched a lot of Asian films this week.
Yeah.
I'm being serious, and I always do the IMDb thing and Wikipedia and stuff.
So even though the main cast of this film is Japanese, with the exception of Tobio, who is played by a Thai actor.
Okay.
The movie was filmed in Thailand. But they did voice dub over Tobio's character with a Japanese
female
actor.
voice, yeah.
Yeah, with a female Japanese
Actress.
Sorry.
Ah!
Shut up.
Suck it.
But the extras, which are primarily just zombies in this movie, were all Thai.
Oh, okay.
So Guitar Wolf does transfer many of their onstage antics into their on-screen personas. The most notable is the constant hair combing.
Yes.
And
I remember that from the drinking game.
Seji's exaggerated beer drinking style, which I kind of love the fact that that's a thing.
I don't
He
remember
does all the time. Like, I don't necessarily. I remember him drinking beers, but I don't really remember being that notable. So now I want to go
he's
back
like
and
this,
watch.
like real serious. Yeah.
Yeah, every time, fucking cracks me up.
God, he looks like so starstruck when he's in the audience, though. Do you remember that?
know, yeah.
He's like, "Oh, daddy."
Oh, with Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ace is just like popping boners left and right over there. The last little bit I had, there's not a whole lot of really good trivia or anything notably interesting. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about the actual band
Okay.
more so than anything. But Guitar Wolf, it's Matador Records. There it is. I'm like, I knew who it was in the United States that released their albums.
Oh, they distributed it for
But
him?
Matador
Okay.
Records is the distributing company in the United States where you can get their albums.
Okay.
But what says Planet of the Wolves is one of the biggest ones in the United States, which features the movie's title track, Wild Zero.
Huh. Interesting.
So it's one of their songs too.
So obviously they were a big fan of the band.
Yeah. Obviously.
You don't make a movie about a band unless you're really into them, by the way, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty
just
great.
a heads up. I thought you might know.
How this is mostly searched when people try and find this movie is Guitar Wolf movie.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm like,
Yeah, so if you always forget, you
fucking
can be
love
like
it.
Japanese band movie, and you probably will find it.
just literally, Japanese band movie, and it's probably going to pop up. Like, I didn't try searching it that way, but I should have.
I bet you.
But yeah, I was just like, and when you look up Guitar Wolf, that's one of the first things that pops up in the thing is Guitar Wolf movie.
Right.
I'm like, oh fuck, okay. But this was everything that I wanted in a fucking Japanese horror movie, like, or not even
It's a
necessarily
comedy.
horror movie.
It's probably
but,
like an action comedy.
horror action comedy.
Yeah.
I guess it's considered. I mean, you decide what's horror to you. Whatever
pretty
you
amazing.
think is horror, you can call horror. I don't give a fuck.
Amazing, guys.
But this movie was just fucking glorious. It was
loved it.
hilarious. Absolutely fucking hilarious.
It's not perfect, but
No.
it lost a little luster from when I last watched it, but I still love it. It's unique, and I'm glad I own it. I'm surprised it's not on Blu-ray, but I don't think they can even, like, if you look at the quality of the movie, it's just like, it's really hard to, like, you can tell that it's not shot, like, perfectly either.
Yeah, I don't even care. All I know is that I want my car to fucking light it.
They do some pretty cool CGI
I want
in
fire
it.
to shoot out of my car.
Right.
Why does my
That
car not
seems
shoot
so
fire?
impractical.
Right? It does. In a mall. Is this only in Japan?
They had it. They had it on the back of the motorcycle too.
The motorcycle. Yeah, I was like, is this a Japan thing?
Yeah. No, it's
And by the way, that kid cannot ride a fucking motorcycle to save his life. Like, this had to have been the first time he's
talking about
ever
Ace?
ridden a fucking motorcycle.
Yeah.
Like Ace, like he is just wobbly as fuck, like a baby deer, like on this motorcycle, like meh. And he's going so slow and looks so stupid like the whole time.
Should we talk about some of our
Well,
favorite
we should get him a
scenes?
scooter. No.
Or, well, we should tell them, first of all, guys, the story is essentially about Ace. Ace is this number one fan of Guitar Wolf. He idolizes them. He idolizes rock and roll. He lives and breathes the band like any fan who loves a band would. And more. And so basically he kind of happenstance falls into this meteorite that crashes on the planet. They don't really know much about it, but that's what causes the event.
They don't talk about it.
Yeah, they don't really
At
say
all.
what it is, but they do talk about the meteorite a bunch.
Oh, the meteor. Yeah, but like
Yeah.
all of a sudden there's aliens and Mouse is just like,
What?
There's
Yeah, like,
aliens now?
Doesn't
Like,
matter though.
why? And I'm like, they're what's making people zombies. And he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, I'm just guessing because they're here and they're zombies. I
Right.
don't fucking know.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's like, they don't explain this. And I'm like, they've been talking about a meteor the whole time, and now people are zombies. That's why. Like,
So, well, basically, what happens is Ace goes behind the stage while Guitar Wolf is trying to get their payment from the fucking club owner, who is shisty as fuck and doesn't want to pay them. So they have like a gun fight sort of. They're drawing their guns on each other, and Ace is in the hallway anticipating walking in to talk to them, and he overhears the club owner say, "You guys are washed up. Who do you think you gave you your start? And rock and roll is a joke. There's new music out now. You don't need, it's time for new days." And he was like, he busts in, hits one of the guys, or opens the door, and he's like, "Rock and roll's not dead!" Gets punched in the face and knocked out.
It's so stupid.
But it's a diversion tactic so that Guitar Wolf can shoot the other guys. They shoot off the club owner's fingers is like 2 or 3 fingers, and then
whose head exploded?
I don't know. One of the guys.
No
in the
one
room.
knows whose head exploded. Whose head was that?
I don't know.
Because it was like
It was
not
just some
any guy-
random.
It was just a random person that you don't see at any
Right.
point until then, and then his head explodes, and you're like, "Who was that?"
So after this happens, Guitar Wolf, the lead singer and guitar player, he actually cuts his own hand and then cuts Ace's hand and then bonds with him with their blood, so he's a blood brother now. Gives them this magical whistle, by the way. What the fuck? That's not rock and roll, bro. That's Jethro Tull.
Whistles are not rock and roll.
So that's Jethro Tull. I hope anybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that.
I feel like Journey would hand out whistles, but
Yeah, I feel like that. I don't know. It's so weird. But anyway, so the club owner's pissed because he lost his hands and his companion or friend or whatever.
someone got their head blown off.
By the way, this fucking club owner has a wig on, like a bob cut from fucking the Beatles.
It's a bowl cut.
It's like a Beatles cut, and it's not his hair, by the way. And he also wears ladies' shorts with lace up on the side, so they're almost like BDSM pants that they turned into shorts. It was like a dress, and then it's so weird.
He's amazing.
And you see his fucking dick every 5 seconds.
He's great.
It's pretty, I don't know. It is pretty funny,
His
though.
outfits are the best.
Yeah, they are pretty. He's
Every
fabulous.
time he comes out, I'm just like, God damn,
He's pretty fabulous.
he is fabulous.
So anyway, the club owner tries to go chasing after the guitar guys, or the Guitar Wolf band, and then, of course, Ace is riding on his bike, just embracing that he actually met the band, and then they all sort of kind of meet up again and have this big showdown with UFOs. So, I mean,
Yeah.
there's all kinds of
UFOs,
people.
And then Ace realizes the girl that he saved that he's in love with has a dick.
Right.
And then he's trying to come to terms with the fact that
you're
she
just
has
going to
a
lay it
dick.
out there like a dick, huh?
Yeah, I am. I absolutely fucking am.
Yeah, he
I don't
falls
give
in
a
love
fuck.
with this girl, and this is one of my favorite scenes, by the way, guys, because Brittany didn't ask.
Oh, are you about to do the... Oh, yeah, I don't care.
You've made that very clear, Brittany. Thank you.
Are you going to
I'm
say
gonna
the-
care,
the-
though,
the
okay?
good quote?
People care about what I think, Brittany.
Because I did love that part.
So,
Where Guitar
yeah,
Wolf says
I
it,
get to
yeah.
say it.
Fuck you.
So Ace goes to a gas station, and he's just like a happy guy because he's just happy he met his favorite band. And he sees this girl in this store, and this other car of people, of like 2 guys and 1 girl, go to this store, and he tries to go and rob the store with switchblades or butterfly knives. Ace opens the door, hits the guy in the face with the door,
Again.
and then, accidentally fucking becomes the hero. And so the girl passed out when the guy ran in and then wakes up to him saying, "Hey, are you okay?" And then they instantly fall in love because they think that they're both attractive. And then you see like a little like cartoonish heart going around them. And he was like, "Hey, Ace, Ace, number 1, Ace, number 1. I fucking love it, dude. It's cute.
That was adorable.
And then Tobio and them, you see the hearts around their faces.
Super cute.
Yeah, it's very comic.
So, then later, do you discover that Tobio has a dick? Because Tobio just, all of a sudden, takes off her clothes and just stands there. And
Well,
Ace is
after he has a bout of crying because he feels like he's a loser and he's been lying to himself this whole time.
Right, it's crazy. And then all of a sudden, it's just, naked, but you don't see anything. And then he looks down and he realizes
He
she's
smiles.
got a
He's like,
dick.
"Tobio." And then he slowly looks down and he's like, "Oh!"
It's ridiculous. What I love is after this part, right? So he's trying to come to terms with does he have a vision of Guitar Wolf or what? I don't remember how Guitar Wolf appears to him when he's coming to terms.
Oh, because the zombies break in after that scene.
So anyways, he's trying to come to terms with the fact that the chick he loves has a penis. And he ends up having this like glorious vision of Guitar Wolf like appearing down out of nowhere. And he just yells to him, "Love has no borders, nationalities or genders." And then it's like, rock and roll! Like, after this. And I'm like, what the fuck?
And then you hear scream outside, and it's Tobio.
Yeah, and then he
getting
goes
attacked by zombies.
Yep, and then he goes to rescue Tobio.
Yeah, and that's when Guitar Wolf shows up, right?
Super cute. Yeah, and then Guitar Wolf eventually shows up. Well, why'd you give him a fucking whistle if that doesn't take you exactly where you are? Like, he gives him the whistle at one point, right? He blows the whistle. And
Sorry, we're late.
And then it takes him like 45 minutes to find him.
Yeah.
Why'd you give him the whistle?
Sorry, we're late, bro.
I'm like, you can hear it, but there's not an actual tracking device in that shit. I don't understand. Like, what's the point?
Well, they were busy being badasses,
This
Brittany.
movie, why, again, this is just a super fun, excellent, what you expect out of a Japanese fucking horror.
Well, hold on, I'm not done
movie.
with my favorite scenes yet.
But
There's a couple.
It has a good message to it too,
Yeah, it does.
which is what I liked.
But there's a couple of really cool scenes that I really liked. Like, first of all, you can tell it's CGI, guys.
Yeah.
But the CGI isn't too bad with the gore. Like, it's actually, I thought it was pretty well
decent.
done for its time. Like, I was like kind of surprised by it. One of the scenes, the lead Guitar Wolf guy holds up guitar picks, like in a cross, like schnickety fucking Wolverine style, and then he like puts it down on his palm of his hand and he starts swiping it forward like he's like
Making it
throwing
rain.
cards. Yeah, making it rain, exactly. And he's like shooting hundreds of these picks at zombies' heads, and they're just dying and falling around.
Mouse lost his shit.
I thought that was awesome.
He
I
was
was like,
laughing
fuck yeah.
so fucking hard. Like, Mouse is just literally like, ah, ah, like fucking dying. It was great. I love that scene too.
Yeah, that was a good one. What about you? Do you have another one?
What was with the fucking weird military chick?
Oh, trying to fight. Yeah, they like.
I don't understand her. What was her purpose?
She had all the guns.
Right, but I mean, like, why? Who is she?
She was
Why
just
is
another
there?
character that she was the badass military
So,
chick.
When she's showering, right? And then she gets out of the shower because, like, all these zombies and shit are, like, in her house, right? And she's like, fuck, they ripped all my clothes, or whatever, right?
Oh.
Then she comes out in this fucking terrible, like,
Swimsuit.
bodysuit.
Yeah, it's like something out of the 50s.
It looks like a fucking couch from the 70s.
Yeah, it's like a full bodysuit swimsuit with, like, a fucking collar.
Yeah.
And, like...
It's terrible, like, polyester-y. Like, it looks like it's upholstery.
Right.
Awful. And
That's all she could find.
I loved it. I was like, that's all you have in your wardrobe?
Right.
Like, that's not the
Well,
story.
no. She
Like,
was in a
what
house.
the
She
fuck?
wasn't in her own.
Oh, okay. Well, whoever's house you're in, like,
she got
that
attacked
was it.
and they ripped her clothes off.
That's all you could get.
Fortunately.
But yeah. Well, that's all you could find. Like, well, obviously, I understand why she's supposed to be like a sex symbol character for the movie.
Right.
But she has a pancake for her butt, so I'm like, how is she a sex symbol?
I noticed that too.
How?
I didn't want to mention
Her
it,
butt
but since
doesn't
you
fit
did.
in it.
Yeah,
Like,
since you brought it up.
It looks like she's wearing a diaper because she doesn't have a butt and it's just all saggy. And well, give her some fucking underwear with some pads in it. Damn. Help her out. Like, she's adorable. Help her the fuck. She has great legs.
Do you remember the part where the club owner, or I call Little Shorts?
Little shorts.
Little Shorts, he shoots. Little Shorts shoots shit. Wait, this is actually a tongue twister, guys. Hold on. Little Short shoots lasers out of his eyes, blowing up UFOs.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
And then they blow him up with a rocket. That was kind of badass. That was cool, right? It's ridiculous excess shit, dude.
This is crazy.
Excessive acting, excessive kills, excessive
Everything.
like comedy, excessive like I don't know. Also, that other guy that's part of the group that tries to rob the store. That's kind of funny. That one guy is like always getting hit by everybody.
Oh my god, the cute little love story between the two of them. I
yeah,
loved
his
that.
name is Toshi.
That was adorable.
Toshi always gets beat up in this movie.
I don't remember the girl's name, but yeah, then they find each other when they're zombies.
Hanako.
Hanako,
Yeah, Hanako.
Oh my god.
Hanako.
So cute. And they're like, why are they using that guy as a human shield? Doesn't he know he's dead?
Hanako.
And he's like, why are you shooting your friend? That's not very nice. So good, you guys.
I don't want to ruin one of the bigger scenes at the very end, but
I don't want to talk about it anymore.
there is a cool thing that Guitar Wolf does at the end. But you guys should watch it if you haven't seen this. And by the way, guys, I really want to know. I was thinking about because me and Brittany kind of have this like weird love for like Asian weird,
I
like
love Asian
what the
movies.
fuck movies.
I love Japanese horror movies.
So we thought about doing, and I didn't mention this to you, but I've thought about doing. Maybe we do it the week after or something, or just do it for a couple of weeks, because I kind of into it.
I love Japanese horror movies.
I feel like I never get to watch enough.
I don't either.
You know what I mean?
I'm totally down.
So if you guys would be interested, we could do that. We do have a special guest that's coming on who is the director of a horror documentary of the movie called The Johnsons that we have been in touch with, and that we are going to be watching the documentary and the movie, and then also having an interview with her. So if you get a chance, you guys want to get a heads up on this, it might be next week. I'm not 100% sure. We're still in communication about it, so we'll let you know. If it's not next week, it'll be the week after. So be on the lookout for that. We actually, I feel like we're getting exclusive look at this documentary, by the way, before a lot of other people. She has been waiting to basically get the subtitles done, and they just got done this last week.
Sweet.
So I need to contact her and make sure we set this up, guys. So, but yeah, if you would like us to watch more Asian films to give you kind of an idea of some movies that maybe you want to watch,
Ooh, or if you have a
ones we
suggestion.
haven't seen.
Yeah, or if you want to suggest ones.
Yeah, please
For us to
let
check
us know. I have a shit ton that I want to show Brittany, because, like, seriously, part of the thing I love about this show is showing other people movies that they haven't seen, and especially the co-hosts. But I mean, I just like showing you guys, like the ones that have been on the show. I get excited about showing it stuff to you guys. Just fuck with your face.
Just to fuck with your face. No, if you're going to recommend a movie, don't recommend Tokyo Gore, please.
What we need to do before we go, Brittany, is we need to talk about which one of these movies you love the most.
Oh, Crazy Lips.
I don't believe you at all.
It's my favorite. This is my pick.
No, she's lying. She's Wild Zero all the way.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I would definitely agree with her. Wild Zero is the better movie of the two, but if you want to, dig deep into the outer fringes of what the fuck, Crazy Lips is there.
I mean, not glad. That's the wrong word.
It's like $5 on Amazon too, by the way, guys.
I don't hate that I had to watch that movie. I'll say that.
Hey,
it was
man.
an experience.
I want to see every fucking horror movie I can possibly find.
It was an experience. So cool.
Yeah. So now that
Thanks.
that's over, let's move along.
Move along. Move along, sir.
Well, guys, thank you so much for stopping by this week. Don't forget, we do have the stickers out from Jars from Mars. We'll put a link below. Other than that, though, you guys rock. Thank you so much for all the support, all the shares, all the reviews you've been giving us on all the different podcast hosting sites and even on iTunes. We really greatly appreciate it. If you enjoy what we do, let somebody know. But other than that, take care, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Stay weird, monsters.
You have been listening to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. Tune in